Alright, so this one, Rob doesn't even know what we're doing, because like, I was coming in, and I was like, hey, why don't we do...
Surprise me!
It's like, just surprise me. So, okay, we're doing... the Power Ranger movies!
Fuck!
Yeah. Because, there's so much to talk about with them, but actually, what I kind of wanted to get to also was just, like, our take on Power Rangers in general. Because, I don't know, it's kind of funny, because we were...
too old.
Just... at the age where
I was definitely too old.
You were definitely
you
too
were
old.
on the cusp.
Yeah,
you were 2 years younger than
but
me.
it was right in between like X-Men and Batman. Like they played Power Rangers in between X-Men and Batman, which is like, how dare you?
What a lineup!
But it's one of those things where it's like, I get it. It is kind of like our Ninja Turtles. It's obviously stupid, and the fans know it's stupid, but it's so enjoyably stupid, and their childhood, and there is
I'm not gonna knock anybody who grew up with it.
Yeah, I mean, it's not like...
we had Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles. I mean, the original run.
Yeah, and that was pretty silly.
Pretty fucking goofy.
So it's kind of the same thing where it's like, watching it, I mean, you could be like, oh, violence, but it's like, fuck that noise. I mean, it's everywhere.
We survived ninja-ing.
Yeah.
So apparently in Europe it's Teenage Mutant Ninja Hero Turtles, because I don't know if German, I've heard the German version of the song and they say hero as well, so I don't know if they have similar rules, but in the UK apparently ninja-ing has been outlawed. Well, apparently somewhere in the UK's history, they had this ninja outbreak.
Yeah, because we
gotta put a stop to this because people are getting assassinated by ninjas left and right.
Because I don't know if it's still true. Last time I was there, I was asking about it, and they were saying like, yeah, I think that changed. So I'm not 100% on that, but
that just
it seems like a silly thing to outlaw.
How do you bring that up in Parliament? I'd love to see that discussed in the House of Lords. In the next motion, the outlawing of ninja.
That's our British impersonation. Our British Parliament, at least.
The floor now recognizes the turtle in the corner. I think it should be allowed.
You didn't say dude. That's why we're saying no. Dude is outlaw too.
We just insulted an entire culture.
You were so good at that. Okay, so when this show first came on, I think especially because X-Men and Batman were on, and they were just like, really even though they could get silly too, they were mostly really trying to take their younger audience seriously. And here comes Power Rangers, and we were kind of excited because like, this looks kind of neat.
It takes it seriously if you're 6. I could see a 6-year-old watching that completely engrossed.
But so we turned this on, and we see the first episode, and like 5 minutes in, we're like, this is shit. Like, this is awful. And we were like...
they were plugging it like crazy. Yeah. Fox was like,
Fox was good at plugging their show.
As far as Fox was concerned, if you had to only see one show this entire century, it's going to be Mighty Morphin Power Rangers. So
now, if they replaced that way, if you hear one song, that'd be okay, because the theme song's amazing.
But I always say, I forget what question always spawns it, but I tell this story all the time at cons about how... I think they ask, is there a show that everyone else is into that you guys aren't? And I always bring up Power Rangers. I always talk about how we watched the first episode, looked at each other, and we're like, ha ha, this is going nowhere.
Never gonna catch on.
Shit, I mean,
years later.
Who the hell would watch this piece of crap? And it's still going on. And this is why I will never, ever invest in the stock market.
Yeah, no, that was probably our biggest wrong.
Suck. Yeah. So I always love saying, it's like, how can you not like Power Rangers? I was like, to be fair, it really proved us very, very hilariously wrong.
Yeah.
It really showed how bad we are at predicting what's going to be a hit. So.
I think, and half my friends were like, some were into it, some were not, but even the ones that were kind of into it were watching it because it was kind of fun to just sort of make fun of.
You would have been right around 12, I think, when it came out. I was like...
I was very cynical 12.
Yeah, I was like 14, and I'm just like, this... I literally was like, this is meant for little kids. Like, little kids. So, and I was a very cynical 14-year-old, and I'm like, I'm wondering into that shit. Like, Ari goes through that jerk high school phase, like,
yeah, I think
Tiny Toons! Fuck that noise.
I'm above that.
And then Batman the Animated Series came out, I'm like, well, I guess I'm going to be watching cartoons through high school anime.
But, So yeah, so the show comes out. We don't think much of it. We just know everybody's talking about it, and like, well, at least the little kids, I should say. And it's a huge hit. It was like that was the toy that year that everyone had to get. It was a big deal. So so the movie comes out, the first movie, and I didn't see it on the big screen.
Why would we?
Oh, no, I remember because I was talking with some friends, and we were kind of making the argument that maybe it was going to be like the Ninja Turtle movie, where it was like, yeah, it's kind of goofy, but it is more adult.
No.
And
all you need to do is look at
wasn't.
all you need to do is look at the trailer, dude.
Yeah, well, no, but even
The
then,
trailer for
like,
the Turtles movie looked dark and gritty. The
Well, no,
Power
this
Rangers
looked a
one just looked
little
like
darker. No, this looked a
it
little
looked
darker.
like-
There were more nighttime
It
shots.
looked like Power Rangers.
No, but there were more nighttime shots. Of course, they didn't show anything about the story or anything like that. It was just them saying, tubular, awesome, gotta love it, and like, that's it. You knew nothing else about the movie outside these
the
catchphrases.
Turtles movie compared to the cartoon, that looked like Daredevil, that looked like Game of Thrones compared to the Rankin Bass Hobbit. I mean,
Yeah.
it was such a huge difference. The Power Ranger movie trailer, I'm just like, okay, it just looks like the Power Rangers. Like, there was no real difference.
It looked like, no, the funny thing is, at the time, it looked like they upped it a little bit, but then we saw, like, the CG.
but I mean, it's still-
No, we saw the CG, and we're like, that looks wrong, but I don't know why yet. We're not used to it yet to realize why it doesn't look right, and now years later, watching it again, it is garbage CG. I mean, it is, like, insultingly bad CG, even for that time period.
But it's Power Rangers.
Yeah, no.
Like-
But to Power Rangers' credit, I mean, even though it's in Japan stuff, they got in the costumes, they used the models, that they built that stuff. And like I said, I'm having much more an appreciation, even though it looks fake. There's an appreciation.
Okay,
really
no.
there.
I see what you're saying, because I was gonna say, at least in the Japanese version, there's a charm to its low budget quality, and by trying to up it with CGI and stuff, you lose that charm. It's like, for me at least, on a goofy level, Power Rangers is fun to watch for the models, for the guys in costumes,
for the hokey acting.
Yeah, for the cheapness of it. Cheap CGI has no charm.
Yeah,
Zero.
There's nothing to it. What I found out when we saw the nerd movie, I forgot how, like, and even though there's CG in that too, there's obviously a lot of models and
don't
people.
open that can of worms, you sell out.
But the big thing is that, even though it's obviously people in costumes and obviously models and stuff like that, I forgot how appreciative I was when I saw impact, like real impact, even though it's fake. And I appreciate it much more, even though it's really not there.
It's
like, yeah, when they're really hitting it, you feel the impact, and when you see it with CG, it's like you're watching nothing. Now, it's like sometimes they can do it well, and sometimes they can be really creative, and there's a lot of great stuff that
If
can
you
be
do
done
it well,
with CG.
it can be really impressive.
Yeah,
if
but
not, it
so
looks
much
like a
of it-
bad cartoon.
Yeah, and even cartoons can sometimes fake it better than what CG is doing because you feel the impact more. And I think it's kind of the same thing with the Power Rangers. When you are seeing these two fight, yeah, we know they're not giant monsters, but at least you know there's impact happening, where when you watch with CG, you know they're not giant monsters, and you know there's no impact happening. So at least you could say that, and with the first movie, that's not even there. They don't even have the models or the people in costumes.
Poor Hikari Wannabe, or whoever is in the suit, in Japan, is at least suffering for his art.
So, yeah, and with the two films, I will say this, because I was watching the second one, when we reviewed the second one, I was saying, well, will this be better or worse or whatever? It's like, how do you really compare it to the first
Certainly
film?
funnier.
I see, for me, it's hard to say which one I liked or disliked the more, because with the first one, in a strange way, even though it made no sense, it still kind of felt like a film and kind of looked like a film. The second one just looked kind of like a longer, bizarre episode. But at the same time, they still had the models. They really had the people in the giant machines and stuff, even though there wasn't much of it. So it's like, I'm really sort of torn on the two. And the first one worked a little bit more like a movie, too. The second one, is much more like a B-movie, like, from like... Again, like the old Godzilla movies or Gamera movies, but at the same time, I can respect that too.
Right down to the Japanese obsession with some little boy who happens to have some ancient knowledge through magical powers, or for some reason, all government officials and superhero teams are like, "You're a small child, come fight with us for reasons." That's what always killed me about the Godzilla and the Gamera movies. Gamera in particular. That was it. Gamera versus Guiron. one of them had this boy who was just obsessed with traffic accidents.
Yeah, that's what.
And it was dubbed so horribly. It was a great Mystery Science Theater episode. I always just remember this kid who gets, like, there's some alien plot and he gets wrapped up in this. I'm like, what are these two children doing here? But I was just like, I want to live in a world without stealing or traffic accidents. And like, that's all he has.
Yeah, without war or crime or traffic accidents.
No,
it's
war or stealing. It's like, apparently stealing and traffic accidents, shame your ancestors. Something fierce over there.
It's very bizarre. Actually, you should check it out. It's really funny.
Oh no, it's hilarious. But right down to that, because they had what was it, the Blue Ranger? The kid.
The blue kid.
Who hilariously
grows.
who is like got to be 2 feet tall, but that suit has magical powers. Apparently it gives you like 40-inch heels or something because he grows like a good 2 feet whenever he's in the suit.
From what I heard, the kid that was brought in for that, in the Japanese version, there was no little kid. They were all still teenagers. I'm sure they switched them out constantly because they have to grow up. But they would, they still use teenagers. And then here, they were like, well, we need to bring in the younger demographic because, hey, kids love imagining they're teenagers, but, we need a little kid in there, too, to be like, hey, you can be a Power Ranger,
So we get the best of both worlds.
So
we hire a little kid, and when he's in the suit, he turns into a teenager.
Yeah, exactly. It's idiotically brilliant.
See, I am of the opinion small children just don't belong in most movies. Most movies could do with, if it's anything that all of the bad child actors over the years have taught us, it's just don't do it.
Well,
every once in a while you'll find a Haley Joel Osment. You'll find an early Macaulay Culkin who can pull it off, but for the most part, they're just not any good. So just if you're thinking of putting children in your movie, don't do it.
Well, as we said before, it's not really their fault. They're kids.
Oh no, I'm not blaming.
They should be
I'm not
kids.
blaming. I'm not blaming the kids. But the best. You know what they did they Blue Rangered 2000 it. It's like the Blues Brothers where they brought that damn kid in the second one. That's what when we were watching that. That's how I felt like. I felt like I was watching Blues Brothers 2000. I'm like, oh my god.
I'm actually shocked they didn't grow him up in that movie. All the other shit that happened.
Well, didn't this come out around the same time, like that early 2000s?
Did it?
Like
I thought it was before Blues Brothers 2000. I could be wrong.
I don't know. I feel like the late post 2000, early 2000s. This was a thing. We had the Zorro sequel do it, the Mummy sequel do it. We have Blues Brothers 2000. I don't know when this film was released. God knows when it was. The original footage was released.
The little kids were trying to come back and it didn't work. Nobody was buying it.
Point being, they always were like, we need a small child in our movie for something. Like, I hate that.
Yeah, no. Well, they so rarely make them good. They so rarely get a good performer to do it. But again, with we're talking about animatronics and stuff. Oh, they're so much better than CG and stuff. And then you get those hideous willow munchy things, whatever those were in the second one, that just looked
I just totally remembered that.
Disgusting. I mean, it's like the first animatronic you see in this in the planet that's all green. They just add a green filter. That's it.
Seriously, the fuck.
You just see this thing that looks.
Things were freakish.
It looks like even by Garbage Pail Kid standards, he was pretty ugly looking. It just sort of looked like this the whole time, and they're supposed to be like, oh, he's cute.
I remember at the end they brought a couple of the other Rangers in the sequel. They brought a couple of the other Rangers back, and the hiatus didn't improve their acting at all. That's for damn sure.
What was it? Kimberly and Rocky. I can't remember the other one. I don't know. One of the Red Rangers, I think. The only one I ever know is Kimberly and Tommy. I don't know any of them. Those are only names I remember.
The only one, both films, and there's something about it. The only one I believe somehow. I don't know whether he's giving it his all, but I just believe in his performance is the one, the only, the amazing, the Bosch.
You're just saying that because we see him at so many cons.
No, actually, I think he's the only one that gets out of, and it's hilarious because he has no dignity in those movies. For some reason,
they always shit on him in those movies.
Movies hate this guy, this character. In the first one, he's the frog. And then it's but the princess kissed the frog, and I'm like, wow, that blows. And the second one, they get all of these kick-ass vehicles, and he gets the fucking soccer mom minivan. He's driving his kids to the game after school, and I'm like, really? And he's got that stupid David from Roseanne haircut.
It was beautiful. Actually, no, really to their credit, I'm trying to think of any of them that was like, that's like a bad actor. And I'm thinking, they're just doing, they're Saved by the Belling it. I mean, they're just doing
It's all
whatever.
just middling. He's the only one that, for some reason, whenever I watch it, I'm like, I'm not saying that, I'm not going to diss Johnny Young Bosch's acting, because he's certainly a great voice actor, that's for damn sure. But I'm not saying it's like a great performance, like this is amazing, but out of that whole set, he's the only one that for some, and maybe it's because his character gets shit on, so he always kind of looks like, but he's the only one I kind of believe. Like, out of all of them. Well, it's certainly not the bullies.
Yeah, no, the bullies are legitimately bad, but I'm sure they were told to act bad. Yeah, I mean, no bigger,
certainly wasn't that kid in the sequel. So he's, for some reason, he's the only one that, I don't know if he cared so much in his performance. I don't know if he didn't. Maybe he didn't care at all. Maybe he's just like, you know what, whatever, I'm driving a minivan. And then, like, because of that frustration, it comes out. But
no, I mean,
he's the only one.
Honestly, with them, like I said, I think they're all about the same plane of, hey, we're going to do it. It's popular. It's for kids. Whatevs. You know, they all kind of have that feel, but it's not, like, insultingly like, yeah, we don't care, fuck it. I mean, they're giving just enough, but, like, you know, it's like they're trying to find the middle ground of, we know this is stupid, but we still want even little kids to kind of take it seriously, so
well,
we're trying to find that middle ground.
Whenever the actors talk about Saved by the Bell, like, they just knew
this was silly.
Yeah, I mean, Good Morning Miss Bliss at least was like a Disney show. You may be trying to figure that out a bit, where the tone's gonna fit, but by the time you get into the latter half of season 1 or season 2 of Saved by the Bell, like, they knew. They're like, you know, when they talk about the episodes, they're like, this is ridiculous. She's overdosing on No-Dos, fucking caffeine pills. Like, they knew how ridiculous it was, except for maybe Dustin Diamond, who I think never left the show. But
yeah, nobody definitely left Earth a long time ago. Yeah, so I mean, in terms of the two films, do you have one that's like, oh, this one's better, this one's worse, I mean, like, they're both bad for kind of different reasons.
I never thought I'd say this. Objectively speaking, I think the first film is better. If I'm going by which one I found kind of funnier, just because it was so beyond batshit crazy, probably the sequel, just because, like, every single decision you could make is wrong.
Yeah.
Like, every single thing they do is wrong.
Except for
we're wrong.
I got
now,
that,
sir. Yeah.
But
Go back to them. When? We missed it. Why? Just wrong. Like, everything is wrong.
Even Zordon, the first one, they upped him a bit. Excuse me. They upped him a bit and actually got, like, a real person whose mouth matched what he was saying. you
know what? I never thought I would say this, but on the totem pole that is the Power Rangers, not knowing anything about the Power Rangers, really, go to Linkara for that. The second one feels like a cheap corporate shill to me, whereas the first one, by comparison, does not.
The first one felt like they were trying to do, like, okay, we have this show, let's make a movie, an actual movie on it.
Yeah.
It won't be good, it won't make sense, but it's a movie at least.
It felt like it was at least trying to do right, I guess. Like, I'm talking to somebody who doesn't know jack shit about Power Rangers, but the vibe I got from it was that they were trying to do right by the Power Rangers fans, and by the very low bar Power Rangers set, they were trying to do right by it. Whereas in the second one, it felt like they lowered the bar way further.
You know what it felt like too? It felt like there was, even though, God help me if I know what it is, they were shooting it like there was an arc. Even though there isn't, and that's the big thing that we complain about, but they were shooting like the emotions go through the arc of, hey, we're having fun, we get along, now something has happened, you know, a friend is dying, I never realized how much I appreciated him. I guess that's the arc, that it's like, we appreciate Zordon, he was like a father to us, even though we have no idea how, he puts them in danger constantly, he kidnaps them, then, you know, puts them up against this evil mastermind, or kind of mastermind.
They were trying to tell a story, or at least they thought they were. There was the thought that they're going to try to tell
She's telling the truth, at least she thinks she is.
Yeah.
Yeah,
whereas the second one, I'm not even sure the writers were like, I don't know, I just got this very big feeling of, fuck it. It's like, it's Power Rangers. Fuck that.
Yeah.
Like, what do we got?
Stuff just happens.
Throw a kid in there. Ooh, a pirate ship. That made no sense. I'm like suddenly remembering
They get these cars and they drive to a pirate ship.
I know. I suddenly I just remembered that. That was one of my big criticisms. We were watching, and I'm like, so wait, you just give these people these awesome kick-ass vehicles, and then all they do is just drive to a pirate ship? What fucking sense does that make? I mean, maybe if the pirate ship turned into a transformer and flew or something, like, but I feel like it's that scene in Big. It's like it just turns into a building? Like, what if it turned into a giant bug? Like, but that's how I'm thinking. I'm thinking like a 10-year-old watching this, I'd be like, man, even as a 10-year-old, I'd be kind of disappointed. I want to see that. I want to see that shit in action.
So yeah, but like I said, we got a the climax with the giant robots and stuff. Like that's kind of cool because that's Power Rangers. That's the only part where I feel like okay, well this. How do I put it? The second one still feels like just kind of a long, weird episode from what I've seen of the show, or it feels like a couple episodes like strung together. Yeah. But that's what I mean. It doesn't feel like a movie, and it's like when you're gonna do a movie, make a movie. Like actually, do what you can to make it feel like a film. This is always the Next Generation, it's the Star Trek Next Generation problem. Make a movie, not just a long episode. Yeah. The good movies made it feel like a movie. The bad movies, you felt like you're watching a long episode with a few better special effects. So that's it. It's harder to say which one feels more like, the spirit of the Power Rangers, because it's like one is corny and silly and most of the stuff is really there, but it's like, but you can watch the show for that, where the other one, made some big errors by having the CG and stuff, but it also felt like, hey, we're going to try and upgrade this for you because it's a movie and you deserve that. You're paying money to see the sequel, or at least mom and dad are. Mm. And if you're going to do that, you should at least try to put together a coherent movie. It doesn't have to be perfect, but I think something that would satisfy Power Rangers fans. I just got this impression that this wouldn't satisfy Power. Maybe I'm wrong. Maybe all of a sudden people are going to come out and be like, are you kidding? The sequel's amazing. It's way better than the first. I could see either, really, yeah. But I felt like if I were a kid watching it, it wouldn't have impressed me after the first movie. I would have been like, what the hell? Yeah, at least if I was a kid watching and I saw the first film, even though the CG looked like shit, and we kind of knew it back then, we also kind of knew, like, this is big and this is kind of new at the time, that kind of CG. And at least it's like, okay, they're trying something different. They're trying something to up the ante, even though it backfired. Where with the second one, I'd be like, I can watch this on TV. I can just watch a couple episodes and get kind of the same idea. But I don't know. I feel the funniest thing about Power Rangers altogether is the stuff I like most is the cheesy fights with the guys in the silly fish suits and the giant robots, the Megazord and because of my love of like old Japanese stuff, that I love. Like, it's whenever they cut to the kids in school or the teenagers or whatever the plot is outside of the fights, I'm like, yeah, it's pretty. Well, and that's kind of what I was saying about their acting before, because even if they were really, really bad actors, it would probably be more enjoyable because you would see, like, if they were all acting like Bulk and Skull, a couple of them are. I'm not going to name names, but there's a couple in that group that I'm like, wow. But you're right, they're not all that bad. Yeah, I remember them being, like, passable. Like I said, they know they're in something. There were a couple that stuck out that I'm like, wow, this is pretty bad. The little kid was pretty bad. Plus the little kid, so 2 plus 1. Yeah. That's 3. So there you go. I mean, like I said, we kind of didn't grow up with Power Rangers, or we grew up with it at just the wrong time. But, I mean, people that like it and obsess over it and stuff like that, I'm not going to be like, what's wrong with you? We had Ninja Turtles. Yeah. That's real art. It's like, no, I get it. It's silly. It's dumb. It's enjoyable. It's not really hurtful or offensive or anything like that. I mean, so the people that love it, then go and love it, embrace it, totally enjoy it. We just got in there too late. I mean, hating Power Rangers is saying, like, oh, I hate, like, the Flintstones or something. Well, if you started watching it after the age of 12, you're the wrong age group. Yeah. So I don't hate Power Rangers. I just, not our thing. I don't like Flintstones, by the way. Even though I know it's harmless, it's another one of those that just pokes me in all the wrong areas. I just don't like it. Come on, they take innocent animals, force them to do. That's the only funny thing. That's the only funny thing. It's like, okay, I just want to see what the sink's gonna be this episode. And then as they're slowly dying while chewing on Fred's garbage, they're like, it's a living. Yeah, it's It's fine. The's nothing wrong with it. It's just not my
No
thing.
love for the great Gazoo Dum Dums.
Oh, I fucking hate it. Oh, okay. We gotta do
man.
Viva Rock Vegas
Oh my
sometime.
I know what I'm gonna get you for Christmas.
Viva Rock Vegas. Yeah.
No, the original cartoon.
Oh, even better. Okay. You can't even get me the Seth MacFarlane redone one, which I'm sure was even better. Or did that ever go through? They were saying they were gonna do it. Didn't Seth MacFarlane say he was gonna redo the Flintstones or something? I thought like years ago and it never went through.
Why?
I don't know.
He did. It was called Family Guy.
Really? They did it again with the Cleveland Show and American Dad.
Honestly, the Flintstones was done again by the Simpsons. Like, all of that owes itself to the Flintstones.
No, it does. That's why it's like, I know it's not like bad, awful. I just never liked it. But.
Oh wait, no. They did do that. It was that Cave Guy show. The
Geico Caveman?
The Geico Caveman show. Yeah.
Okay, well, we know what a hit that was. So, yeah, that's about it.
I'm making that up. Don't correct me on the comments. I know that it's that face. I know.
Would someone actually take that? You know what? You never know.
Someone will. I always get. I get them. Anything I use as a joke. There's always I get one comment or somebody sends me.
There's always some android out there. It's like humor,
satire.
I am finally comprehending this. Wait, no, I'm not.
Humor, a human concept.
What's that guy from Guardians of the Galaxy? It's just like, nothing goes over my head. It's like there are just some people out there that just
he takes everything literally.
So, with that said, we will see you on the next one. Later.